Number 21. Don't be afraid if things seem to be difficult in the beginning. That is only the initial impression. The important thing is not to retreat. You have to master yourself. Number 21. Don't be afraid if things seem difficult in the beginning. That is only the initial impression. The important thing is not to retreat. You have to master yourself. Olga Cobalt. Don't be afraid. That's why some people, they never finish or complete anything in the new year. There are some people that have made some new resolutions. In the next 2 months, they are going to forget about it. In the next 2 months, in the next 1 month, in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, they are going to say, I'm tired of this. I don't think this is the right thing I should have done. Their resolution, they are regretting of making such resolutions because things are not easy at the beginning, because they are not finding it easy. Maybe funds are not coming the way they expected. Maybe people are not supporting them the way they were expecting. So as a result, rather than remain where they are in their resolution, to remain resolute, rather than trying to master the circumstance, master the situation, to know how to navigate, to know where to improve in order for things to change for the better, they retreat. They quit. They quit. And all these people you want to become like, all these people you want to be as rich as this person, you want to make money like this person, you want to have a successful marriage like the other person, all of these people had their challenges at the beginning. They did not retreat. They mastered it. They mastered it. Don't be afraid if things seem difficult in the beginning. Any new thing you are set out to achieve, any new project you are set out to achieve in the year 2023, if you begin to see difficulties, if you begin to see difficulties in the beginning, that is the initial impression. You don't have to be afraid. The next thing you're supposed to do is master it. Just like when children are learning to walk. It's not easy for them. When children are learning to crawl, when they are learning to walk, to stand, to walk, and to run, you know that it's not easy. You went through that process when you were a child. There is nothing that is so easy anytime you are beginning for the first time. Anything you are beginning for the first time, you must encounter some measure of difficulties. But you don't have to retreat. You should try and master it. By the time you master it, by the grace of God, you will get to the end of your destination. Number 22. First comes thought, then organization of that thought into ideas and plans, then transformation of those plans into reality. The beginning, as you will observe, is in your imagination. Napoleon Hill. That is number 22. Remember, I'm sharing with you 26 things that will guide you in the year 2023. That will guide you. That will help you to experience a new year, which will ultimately come from a new you. If you can do these 26 things, allow them to guide you, you will become a new person. And this new person you will become will experience what it means to be in a new year. If you don't do it, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to say anything else. Number 22. First comes thought, then organization of that thought into ideas and plans, then transformation of those plans into reality. The beginning, as you will observe, is in your imagination. Napoleon Hill. The first thing that comes is thought in your mind. When thought comes to your mind, the next thing you're expected to do is to organize, arrange those thoughts into ideas and plans. Every thought that is inspired by the Spirit of God, except you're not a child of God, every thought that was inspired by the Spirit of God in your mind is not a coincidence. It is through those thoughts that great men today have become so great. That the people you call rich people today have become rich. Nothing happens without thinking. You must think. You must have a thought. The next thing to do is to organize. Don't allow the thought to be strolling up and down, roaming up and down, without being organized. Organize your thoughts. Organize your thoughts. Know how to channel your thoughts, where to channel your thoughts, the direction that you are expected to channel your thoughts. Your thoughts in marriage, your thoughts in business, your thoughts in your relationship with God. Organize your thoughts. Organize them until they become ideas and plans. The next thing is the transformation of those plans into reality. But you cannot be able to transform your plans into reality if you don't organize your thoughts until they become ideas. Because every reality you see today is a product, an accomplishment, or manifestation of ideas. But they started from the realm of thought, the mind. The first stage was the thinking stage, then organization. It is organized into ideas and plans. And then you transform those plans into reality. How do you transform the plans into reality? Act on them. Act according to plan. Do things according to plan. Spend money according to plan. Invest your money according to plan. Some people up to now, they don't have plans of what to do. If you cannot write it down, why can't you make use of your thinking faculty and arrange it in your mind? If you cannot write, if you cannot have a written plan, if you cannot be able to make a written plan, you take biro and your workbook or your diary or any piece of paper that you use to make plans. If you cannot be able to do so, to write with your hands. Some say I didn't go to school, I am an illiterate. But every illiterate has a mind. Every illiterate thinks. Right inside your mind, you can write it there. You can design it how you want it to be. Stop spending money anyhow. Stop wasting money. You can't be spending money this year without plans. You must make your plans. You can't just make anyhow investment that you didn't plan for. You say, it was my friend that gave me the idea. It was my friend that told me, oh, it is working for him. Is it also going to work for you? We don't have the same purpose. We don't have the same talent. It is true that others can inspire us to do something reasonable with our time and our resources. But then you must do so with clear understanding of what you want, in line with your purpose, in the area of your competence. I understand that you can also go for training to improve. But then you must have a plan. Some people don't have business plan. No plan in the relationship. I'm still surprised that some ladies can still spend up to 4 years, 3 years, 2 years in a relationship that is not defined. They are hoping that the man will propose. They are hoping. And not only that they are hoping, they have given themselves, their body, their emotions. They have given out everything. They have given out their value. The value that should even make the young man serious to marry you. You have given it out on the platter of gold. No plan. Only to wake up in the next 5 years or 10 years to ask the guy a question. I don't know where this relationship is going. You are the one that made the mistake in the first place. You entered into a relationship, no plan. No plan. You are just enjoying the moment. enjoying the car, enjoying the money, enjoying the weekends in his house, enjoying the take me out, spoil me, take me to eateries. You are just you are grooving, flexing. How time flies. Who is the pilot? You are the pilot, as I told you before. Organize your thoughts into ideas and plans. Then transform those plans into reality. And the beginning is in your imagination. Number 23. Very soon I'm going to close. The distance is nothing. It is only the first step that is difficult. My ways do differed. The distance is nothing. It is only the first step that is difficult. If you can take the first step, you will eventually take the second, the third. You will continue to put your step forward until it becomes your movement. And until your movement becomes advancement. Don't stop. You didn't hear what I said now? Did you hear what I said? You will continue to put one step in front of the other. Okay? If you put only one step, you have not started moving. You have to put the second. You put the third. What am I doing now? I'm moving. Is that not correct? It has become a movement. And then until your movement becomes advancement, don't stop. Not only taking the first step. Some people take the first and the second, they stop. No movement. They have made the first step, the second. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? And they stop. There's no movement anymore. There is stagnation. When you put the first step, take the second, take the third, take the fourth. As you keep taking it continuously, putting one step in front of the other, it has now become movement. Are you hearing me now? And until your movement becomes advancement. If your movement has not become advancement, don't stop. Don't stop. Number 24. Small opportunities often are the beginning of great enterprises. Small opportunities are often the beginning of great enterprises. Can somebody say that? Small opportunities are often the beginning of great enterprises. Small opportunities are often the beginning of great enterprises. That quote came from John Ruthains. Is that true? Small opportunities. Small. Anything that has a small beginning, if you continue to work on it and invest in it, it will have great and very, very big endings, big earnings, big achievements, well celebrated. Go to the book of Luke, chapter 16. Luke chapter 16 verse 10. He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much, and he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in the much. Hallelujah. Are you there? I want you to open to that very scripture. Open to the book of Luke chapter 16 verse 10. Open it. Because some people are expecting some big opportunities, when God has given them little opportunities and they despise it. Some think that to become big, you need big opportunities. Some think that to become so rich and wealthy, to progress, to achieve success, you need a very big opportunity. No. Are you there now? In the book of Luke chapter 16 verse 10. I am reading from King James. He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. And he that is unjust in the least is also unjust in much. And Ivy says, whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. Look up and look at me. Have you seen it? Have you seen why some Christians don't experience the good life? Have you seen it? Have you seen why some people could go to church for several years without any tangible changes in their lives? Are you seeing it? Answer me, please. Are you seeing that unfaithfulness does not do you any good? And are you also seeing that how you handle the little opportunity God has given to you prove to God your level of maturity to handle the bigger ones? The little money you have in your account, how faithful you are in handling that money, how faithful you are in using that money to serve God and also using it for wise expansion of a business, proves to God how faithful you will be if God gives you 1 million naira. If you are not faithful in handling 10,000 naira, if you are not faithful in handling $1,000, you cannot be faithful in handling $1 million. You cannot. I've taught you this several times. The Bible is here reminding us again that it is the fact of life. Why? Because it is character. Is what? Character. The character you develop in your days of little beginning will affect your days of greater opportunities. The character you develop when your business is still little, the character you build now that your business is on a counter, is just something, you don't have a lock-up shop, you don't have a warehouse. The way you are handling your business now at that very level will determine how you will handle it when you have greater and better opportunities. Why? Because right now is the level of character development and development of managerial skills, the skill of management, how to manage your business, how to manage your resources, how to manage your finances. If you cannot manage 100,000 naira very well, you cannot manage 1 million naira very well. You cannot. Because the same character you developed when you had 100,000, you have not changed it. You have not been transformed, as I said from the beginning of this message. You are not yet renewed. Are you hearing what I'm saying now? And now the opportunity of making millions comes, and God said, no, if I give him that opportunity, it's going to be a disaster. I withdraw it, or I restrain it, or I withhold it until when he's matured. Jesus said that anyone that is unfaithful, anybody that is unfaithful in the little will also be unfaithful in the many. That is why when I serve God, I don't look at people. I don't try to see, are they with me? Are they supporting me? Do they love me? Do they like my message? Do they like my pattern? Do they believe in our vision as a church? What are they saying? No, I don't think about that. I don't say it. I don't do it. I just focus on what the Spirit of God is telling me at the time. And I continue to show that dedication to manage the little resources. Look at this church. No external sponsorship. Look at from the very scratch where we are. From the very scratch. I started taking care of the expenses of this church from my salary when I was working. I was faithful. The first speakers we bought in this church, I bought it with my money. The first microphone, the first chairs, and almost everything. The little money that was coming into my hands, I wasn't using them to buy shoes. I wasn't using them to feel all right, as a senior pastor. Your pastor has to look nice. Your pastor now, your senior pastor. No. I was still wearing old clothes. I was still wearing second-hand clothes, old shoes. The money to buy new ones were there. I said, no, if I use this money to buy shoes, use it to buy cloth or buy designers, what am I going to do with the work of God? Who is going to help? God has given me this money, this opportunity to do that very work, and I must do it. And today, God has blessed me. Hallelujah. God has blessed me. God has blessed me and is still blessing me. If you are not faithful in the little, forget about the great. If you are not faithful in the little opportunity God has given to you, serve God, you don't want to serve him. You think it's when you get married you have the opportunity. You think it's when you have millions, oh, you cannot serve God. You are telling lies. It's a deception from hell. If you are not faithful, if you cannot show faithfulness to God at this level, you have proven to God how immature you are to handle the greater opportunity. Job chapter 8 verse 6 to 7 says that at your beginning is always little, is very little, sometimes unpromising, but you shall greatly increase at the end. Job chapter 8 verse 6. What does it say? If thou art pure and upright, surely now he would awake for thee and make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous. Verse 7. Though thy beginning was how? Answer me please. Thy beginning was how? Very small, it was small. Yet thy latter end should greatly increase. But if you despise your beginning that is small, what is it going to increase during your latter end? Nothing. So without little beginnings, there is no expectation of increment. Without little beginnings, there is no possibility and there should not be any expectation of what? Increment. You must begin first. Begin little and then you watch God increase it. Number 25. This altered perspective can be the beginning of a fundamental and enduring change in your relationship if you can take it to the laboratory of God's word. Wherever you see your relationship, take it to the laboratory of God's word. What is the word of God saying about it? And it's going to bring a tremendous change. Number 26, which is the last. Number 26. We can keep focus on a new life, new beginnings and experiences by using our abilities to move beyond all those things that may serve as excuses to confine us to the now. Byron Pulsifer. We can keep focus on a new life, new beginnings and experiences by focusing or by using our abilities to move beyond all those things that may serve as excuses to confine us to the now. Stand to your feet and begin to pray.